distinguished guests, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, graduates. At major life milestones like college graduation, it is only natural that we begin to ask ourselves some challenging questions. Can I handle the 9-to-5 grind? How much should I begin to save away for graduate school? What is my 5-year plan? Of course, there are all the other questions we're wondering right now too. Are there syllabus weeks in the work world? And what are we all doing tonight? Among these questions is perhaps the most timeless that we've loathed to hear from our parents ever since grade school. What did you learn at school? As I started to think about it, I think we can all agree on some major learning points from our core business classes. In Business 1.0, for example, we learned through our beloved industry papers the pain associated with group projects, a cherished lesson nonetheless that we would continue to learn team project after team project after team project during our time at Kogod. In financial accounting, some of us learned that we loved accounting. The rest of us learned to quickly make friends with those of you, preferably before midterms. In production operations management, we learned that no matter how many reports we wrote, the prospects of improving the process design and efficiency of Freshie and other campus lunch spots were bleak to impossible. And in finance, we were routinely reminded that in an uncertain and scary world that we were broke college students. Those, I think, are the areas of agreement. But ironically, my fondest learning moments are not about agreement. Rather, they were the moments in class when a teammate struck down my idea with one they thought to be a stronger one, or when we debated the implications of the Affordable Care Act in a class, or when we argued in class over where a company's social responsibility even mattered when weighing a lucrative investment opportunity. By senior year, I actually began to enjoy those moments in class where we disagreed rather than the moments when we agreed. With every class and each disagreement, I furthered the strength of my own personal convictions, and I had the opportunity to listen to all of you do the same. If there's one thing that I hope for the graduating class of 2014, it is that we will continue to develop and engage in productive disagreement beyond the intellectual community that we have grown comfortable with here at AU. By productive disagreement, I want to clarify that I'm not supporting the naysayers who disagree solely out of personal interest, we all know them, and I'm not condoning the deadlock that we've come to have a front seat to here in DC. I'm speaking to a form of disagreement that challenges people to stop nodding along, to take an active seat at the table, and to demand a higher level of thinking for themselves and for those around them. So how do we get here? How do we engage in productive disagreement? To answer this question, I thought there might not be a better time to finally open that organizational behavior textbook. After all, I'm quickly running out of time. I narrowed productive disagreement down to 2 key themes: listening and collaboration. I'll speak first to listening. Stephen Covey, the author of the well-known book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, argues that we listen at 5 levels. Yeah, BPS, what up? We can be ignoring, which is not really listening at all. We can be pretending, that's the yeah, type listening. We can be selectively listening. If you're not sure what that is, just ask your parents. Or we can be attentively listening. However, the hardest and most productive form of listening that we often fail to practice is empathetic listening. Empathetic listening requires us to enter into conversation with a sincere desire to understand the underlying paradigms and concerns of our peers. So that's listening, but what about collaboration? In a recent TED Talk called Dare to Disagree, Margaret Hefferman spoke on how historically the best teammates have been those who actively challenge one another rather than serve as an echo chamber, a concept she refers to as disconfirmation. While we might seek comfort in group settings, we actually need discomfort. As a freshman, we wanted others to leave our ideas alone, but today as seniors, we seek out those who can tear them apart. As we enter the work world, I hope we can all come to the table as independent thinkers with strong convictions, rather than stand aside and say nothing at all, no matter how safe that might sometimes feel. Now that I've focused your attention here on this, I hope that you'll do the same. Though I've spent the past 5 minutes speaking to disagreement, I am confident that we are all in agreement, that today is well-deserved, and that we are ready to enter into what we often refer to as the real world in a few short minutes. Congrats again.